Hello there, Guten Tag. Today we will be starting on the real topic, that is object-oriented programming. So, we will be talking about what programming with object is. We will be looking at class and how to define them, and how to create object defined by the class that we create. And then we'll see examples of how we use data and methods of an object. Then we'll learn to write method and constructor for an object. And we will see how keyword this and final are used. Then we'll see some example about how we work with package. And then we'll see other methods and how to use them. All right. So that's the outline. Now, object-oriented programming. An object is actually a piece of data that it can contain other data inside. All right. And in a language like Java, you can define your own data type or define your template for an object. All right. So, object-oriented program will contain many objects. And we use a class to define, or in other words, to create a blueprint or a template for an object of that class type. Right? So, we define a class, and then later we create one or more objects defined by that class. Right? And you will see how we create an object by using keyword new and calling constructor. Right? Okay. So, let's see what a class looks like. This is a definition of class car. Alright? So, a car here, class car, is a template for defining a data of type car. Alright? In Java, your file is written as a class. Alright? Normally it will be like that. And if you want to define your own data type, you define a class for it. Okay? So, in this example, I define class car. And my class car contains speed and acceleration. That means if I create a data that is a car, it will contain its own speed and its own acceleration. And if I create the second car, it will also contain its own speed and its own acceleration. Alright, for now, in this example here, I create class car, alright, which is going to be a template of all my cars. Okay? And each car, as defined by class car, contains speed and acceleration. Right. So in another class, say I have another file called class transport sim. This class can make use of class car by creating car objects. Alright, so in this example, I create actually 2 cars. Car A is created using what we call a new command and a constructor, where a constructor is a method that has the same name as your class, alright? The same name as your data type. Right. So in this example, I create 2 cars, A and B, and each car will have its own speed and acceleration. And well, initially, the speed and acceleration of each car are zeros. Alright? Because zeros are default values for integer. Alright? So that's a class and how we can use object defined by that class, alright, in a very, very simple way. Alright? So we'll see in the next video the concept of how to use objects and define in your class, alright, to encapsulate information, meaning hiding unnecessary information from the user of your class. Okay? How to do your abstraction, right? How to do inheritance and how to do polymorphism. Alright? So we'll see them in